Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I nearly said Monday. It's not Monday, it's Tuesday. Welcome to the official day one of your 5 day reset, your mum boss at home 5 day reset. If you're watching me live, let me know that you're live, comment for me, give me some reactions. I'm not in my normal setup, so those of you that are watching rather than listening and have seen my videos before, I'm not in my house. I'm in my dad and stepmom's house. I'm still in my pajamas as promised because this house is, morning Laura, this house is full of other people who are all sleeping. 2 dogs, 2 kids. How many adults? Oh no, 6 adults. I'm in my dad's little garden room and it's a bit cold in here, so I've got my granny blanket on. So I've not got my normal microphone. Not got my normal camera. So if you are listening back to this on the podcast, I would just like to apologise that the sound quality might not be what it normally is, but we're back home this afternoon. So from tomorrow, we're back to normal. I need to cough. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay, today we're going to be talking about mindset. And I've got some notes just to one side of me because, again, like I say, normally I'd have my big screen and my 2 screens and I'd have my notes up in front of me. So just bear with if you see me looking off to the side because I'm just making sure I don't miss anything. We're talking about mindset, which is one of the most underrated aspects of health and fitness, irrespective of weight loss. It's really, really underrated. And often, what I see happening with people is they think they need a new workout program, or there's Henry just letting you all know that he's doing downward dog right now. Sit down. We need a new workout plan, or we need a new meal plan, or some new recipes, and or even things like, oh, I need some new workout gear, I need some new trainers. If I've got new workout gear, then or even a new bottle, a new water bottle to work out with, that's going to set me up. I can't fail. Then I'm going to be super motivated. It's going to be great. And that all comes down to mindset, right? We're looking for something else to motivate us. The truth is, most of us know exactly or roughly what we need to do to achieve the goals that we want to achieve. We just don't do it consistently enough to see the results. And that's where that looking for that external motivation from, the new workout plan or the water bottle or the trainers really kind of fits in, because we're looking for that external motivation to really help us. Now, we're going to be talking about some of that today, and I'm going to be helping you with some of that. But just to kind of give you some of my examples here, I yo-yo dieted for years. And I put myself to the bottom of the list for years daily. And when I finally started to understand that to change my life and to change the way I felt, I needed to change my mindset. That's when I finally started to see the results that I was so desperately looking for. Everything changed when I did that. Everything changed when that happened. So that's why whenever I'm working with people, whether it's in free things like this or in my paid programs, there's a huge emphasis on prioritizing yourself and your own self-care before we even get to things like calories and macros and food lists and exercise routines. There's a huge amount of focus on the you time and the self-care and you will have noticed that as well in some of the documents that I've shared with you, and the fact that we're not focusing on calories for this reset. We're not focusing on you trying to lose a certain amount of weight in 5 days, because that's not realistic. What we're actually trying to focus on is some habits that are going to allow you to feel great, because when you can focus on those habits and make small changes, those small changes make big changes, and you get into a routine of putting yourself into the situation where you can undertake those habits and behaviors. So the three things I'm going to talk to you about today is motivation, the all or nothing mindset, which is also a form of perfectionism. And then I'm going to swear, so I hope none of your children are listening, or if you're listening on the podcast and they're in the car, turn it off now. Believing your own bullshit. Okay. So they're the three things that we're going to talk about today. And I'm just going to get my iPad and make sure that my notes are in front of me. So the first thing is talking about motivation. Okay, and I've touched on that a little bit already, because I saw in so many of your forms before you started this reset, I saw in your comments, in the WhatsApp group and the Facebook group, I've asked you to, tell me what gets in your way and what excuses you're going to use to, not meet your goals. So many of you said motivation, that you lacked motivation or you lose motivation. And so I want to share with you a little secret about motivation. Ready? Motivation is a myth. It's a limited resource and it's unreliable. Okay, I want you to see motivation like the water in your water bottle. Okay, it's not always going to be there. Your water bottle relies on you filling it up. Okay, you putting something into it, and it doesn't just automatically appear. You actually have to take an action, i.e. unscrew the lid, take it to the sink, turn on the tap and fill it up in order for there to be water in your water bottle. And you're not just going to wake up in the morning. If you've drunk water all through the night from your water bottle, you are not just going to wake up in the morning and magically there's going to be this full up water bottle. Motivation doesn't work like that, okay? If you think you need motivation, well, no, you do. Most of you do think you need motivation because you think motivation comes before action, which then leads to the results. Actually, I need you to flip that around. Okay, it's the action that comes first, that leads to results, which then leads to motivation. And by the way, those results are not going to be seeing an immediate change on the scales. And we're going to talk about the scales on day 5, because I know many of you are super reliant on the scales. But that action might just mean that a result is you feeling super energized because you've been out for a walk. Like yesterday, I went for a lovely beach walk and I shared a picture with some of you on the WhatsApp group. And, that walk, we were out for an hour and 20 minutes. Wasn't a super energetic walk. We were with my 5-year-old nephew. But when I got back in the car and then got back to the house, I felt super energized because we'd got outside, we'd got some fresh air, we've got some sunlight. It was a bit chilly. It made me energized. Does that mean that walk is immediately going to change what I see on the scales when I get home or the next day? No, but it made me feel good. So we need to realize that our motivation and the results that we're getting are not just about the scales. Okay, so those results won't always be visible at first, but the action leads to a result. So it might be feeling great, feeling more energized, which will then lead to more motivation. And that motivation will lead you to take more action. The more action you take, the more consistent you are, the more you will see and feel results. Okay, so it's I need you to stop looking for motivation. I don't want you to focus on finding motivation anymore. I want you to focus on taking action. And we can't use I'm just not motivated as an excuse anymore, or at least recognize that is just an excuse. It's not a reason, it's an excuse. I want to tell you another secret, if you're ready. I'm not motivated all the time either. Sometimes I don't want to go to the gym. Sometimes I don't want to go for a walk with the dog. Sometimes I don't want to cook dinner. I just want to order a takeaway. But here's what I consider before I tell myself any excuses. What will tomorrow's me thank me for? Or it could be next week's me, next month's me, next year's me. We're on the 2nd of January. We could start thinking about what will 2025's me thank me for? Because that's what we're talking about here. We're also used to instant gratification. You know, the invention of smartphones and things like Amazon, and being able to order something and literally within a couple of hours it's at your doorstep, or you can download an app and you can start doing something there and then. You know, I always think of Duolingo as my example here. You know, if we wanted to learn a different language before the invention of Duolingo, you had to enroll in some kind of, well, even before online courses, some kind of college course to go and do that as an adult. Now you can pay a couple of quid, download Duolingo, and every day you can be learning a different language. I think, did I see Emma, who's part of the Reset, is learning Korean, which I think is incredible, by the way. You know, we're always looking for this instant gratification, and that's where our mindset trips us up a little bit, because we think that, you know, right, I've been really good today in speech marks, so what will I see on the scales tomorrow? What changes will I see tomorrow? Actually, if we start flipping this around a little bit to think about, right, what decisions and actions can I make and take that are going to help me to show up for myself every day, which my future me will thank me for? Because if we start looking a little bit further out than the next day or the next week, the weigh-in day or whatever it is, we're going to start seeing that these small little actions really do add up. Okay, and that is hugely, hugely important. And it's not about instant gratification. Yes, the feelings will be there, even if, you know, even if you really hate exercise. You cannot tell me that if you can get yourself out for a nice 10-15 minute walk, whether it's with the family, listening to something, just having a bit of you time, getting a bit of fresh air, makes you feel so much better. That's the instant gratification for it, is the feeling it gives you, having done something for yourself, having achieved something for yourself. But your workout will make you feel good. You know, if you're prepped for the week ahead, if you prep breakfast today for tomorrow, you know, or whenever it is. Oh, here comes the, I don't know whether you can all see that, those of you that are watching, but my camera does this thing now where if I do certain emojis with my hands, it like shows up all these emojis. Sorry for those of you listening. So if you prep breakfast tonight for tomorrow, that's going to save you time tomorrow. You won't see an instant result, but you're going to feel it. You're going to feel amazing. Okay, so I want you to really work on coming out of this mindset of I need to be motivated, and instead I want you to think about, okay, what actions can I take that are going to help me to get results that will help to build up that motivation. Okay, so just keep thinking about filling up that water bottle, and I know some of you have got a goal about drinking more water, so this is really going to help you. So motivation is a myth. Okay, point number 2. the all or nothing or perfectionism mindset. Now, I would hazard a guess that most of you listening to this, watching this, that are part of this reset, or even if you're listening to the podcast and you've not been part of the reset, you often feel like you are really all or nothing. Okay, so you're either on the diet or off the diet. You're on the wagon or you're off the wagon. You're on track or you're not on track, or you've fallen off track. You're being good or you've been bad. This is all or nothing thinking. And it's tripping you up hugely. It trips you up daily. So, what this looks like in practice is being super duper strict with yourself and maybe managing that for a week or two and aiming to be 100% perfect 100% of the time. And then you realize you can't sustain that. That's not sustainable because life doesn't work like that. Here's another secret. I'm full of the secrets today. There is no perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. And if you keep trying to achieve perfection, then you actually just forget to have fun and live life. That's what it comes down to. Weight loss results aside, fitness results aside, health results aside, even though health is the most important aspect here, you also need to enjoy your life. Now, does that mean downing a bottle of Prosecco every day? No. But if you constantly tell yourself you have to be perfect, you have to be on track, on program, on plan, on the wagon, being good, you miss out on all of the fun. So when something goes wrong and you fall off the wagon or fall off track, you completely lose the plot, because not only have you fallen off your plan or your track or your wagon, but in trying to be perfect for the last 2 weeks, you've missed out on all the fun. So it's like a double whammy. And this is what I see with some of my clients, right? Is, you know, many of them track calories. Okay, and so it takes a while for everyone to grasp this concept of not being perfect, instead being consistent. And when my clients grasp this, that's when results come thick and fast, right? But many of my clients track calories. It's not essential, but many of them do. And what I'll see is, they're tracking their calories, they're tracking their calories, they're tracking their calories. And then I notice that maybe they go AWOL tracking their calories for 4 days or something, sometimes longer. And what's normally happened 9 times out of 10 in that situation is they've gone over on their calories on one meal or one day, and then they've gone, right, well, I've ruined this, haven't I? They've hit the big red button, they've fallen in the bucket. And rather than draw a line and just move on and make the next decision count, they don't track for 3, 4, 5 days, like I said, maybe longer, because in their heads, they think they've ruined it. They've fallen off the wagon. They're not being good enough. So they go AWOL. They don't track anything, and they just eat and drink their way through life for a couple of days, because they think they've ruined their progress anyway, so they may as well. And they're sitting on the F-it button for a week or more, even 2 sometimes, right? And here's the thing, it's never the one day or the one meal that ruins your progress. It's the reaction to the one day. And what I work on with my clients is consistency over perfection over time. You are the average of your daily habits and behaviours. And so if you're the average of your daily habits and behaviours, like I said in the introduction, you are where you are now because of you, because of choices you've made and decisions you've made and actions you've taken. So what we work on is this consistency over time. And focusing on that consistency over the perfection. And specifically what that looks like for them. Because consistency for one of you is not going to be the same as the next one, because you all live different lives. You all have different goals. You're all starting from a different place. Some of you in here are not looking for weight loss. You're looking for muscle gain, to just increase your healthy habits. And that's fine. And that's what I help. Not all of my clients are looking for weight loss either. But it doesn't matter. Whatever, even if your goal is to build some muscle as a female, amazing, and we will talk about that. Even if that's your goal, that still requires consistency of habits and behaviors over time. And so what this might look like in terms of looking for perfection over consistency is, oh, I missed a workout, so I'm just not going to go to the gym for the whole week. I'm not going to work out for the whole week. So when I work with my clients, we're working at this consistency over perfection, along with ensuring that they take the actions that they need to achieve their goals while still enjoying their life. And that's really important. We don't want to see one meal out as being bad or falling off the wagon or a problem, or one night out or a holiday. Okay, because that's not going to ruin your progress. It's just one night out, one meal out, one holiday that you've worked bloody hard for. So we need to stop trying to sit in this all or nothing. I'm either on it or I'm off it. It's either black or it's white. There's no shades of grey in between. Of course there's shades of grey. We don't need to be perfect. None of my clients are perfect with their diet and exercise every day, and I fully encourage that. You need to enjoy life as well. Okay, so it's about consistency. It's about ticking as many of the boxes as possible, as many days as possible, and not allowing that perfectionist mindset to ruin everything for you. Okay, and this leads on nicely to our last point, which is believing our own bullshit, also known as self-belief. Now, we all tell ourselves stories, okay? So I'm not a morning person. I have no willpower. I heard that in some of your forms and some of your introductions as well. I can't stop at one biscuit. I don't have fun on a night out unless I have a couple of drinks. Diets don't work for me. I can't work out in the evening. Now, here's the problem. You keep telling yourself these stories, and then you create evidence and you back yourself up. Okay, one of my clients who worked with me for nearly 2 years, Stacey. Many of you that I know, some of you know Stacey in this reset. Many of you have heard me talk about her before. She's actually just joined me on the Mum Boss at Home community as well, which I'm thrilled to have Stacey back. That's not because she's gone backwards in her weight loss. It's because life's got a bit stressful and she needs a bit of help with resetting some boundaries and some habits, which is amazing. But she used to tell herself that she wasn't a morning person and she couldn't get up on her first alarm. And no word of a lie, she used to snooze at times for 90 minutes a day, because she told herself she wasn't a morning person and she couldn't get up. That was a story she was telling herself. And it's almost like giving yourself permission to snooze for 90 minutes. And by the way, by the time she finished working with me, she wasn't snoozing her alarm for 90 minutes. She was getting up, and she found out that actually if she did get up on her first alarm rather than snoozing, she felt like she'd had better quality sleep, and giving herself a little bit of extra time in the morning was an amazing way for her to have a little bit of her time before the rush of the day started. Just saying. So if you tell yourself these stories, you will look for evidence and you'll create evidence to back yourself up, because our brains don't like being wrong, okay? They like to keep us safe and to be right. And because you don't have the evidence on the contrary, so let's use that morning person example, because you just keep giving yourself evidence of the alarm goes off, oh, I'm so tired, I can't get up, snooze. It goes off again 10 minutes later, oh no, I'm still so tired, I can't get up, snooze. You're telling yourself that you can't get up. You're just building up the evidence that proves otherwise, right? So you don't believe that you could be a morning person. You don't believe that you could stop at one biscuit. You don't believe that you would have fun on a night out without, having a couple of drinks. Here's another secret. I'm full of secrets today. These things don't come true unless you make them come true. They're not true unless you make them true. You might not be at your best in the morning. I am not at my best in the evening. Past about 9:30, you don't get much out of me. But if I need to do something in the evening, I will. It's not my most productive time. But if I need to do something, I will. Okay? I don't like working out past midday. It's not my favourite time to work out. I much prefer to work out in the morning. Because I'm not motivated all the time, if I need to work out at, say, 5 o'clock, I will make excuses as to why I shouldn't. But I have worked out past midday, I have worked out at 5 p.m., and therefore I've built up evidence to tell myself and show myself that I actually can do it. Telling myself I can't is just creating a story in my own head. So, if we tell ourselves we can't do these things, all we're doing is creating evidence that proves that statement right, okay? You'll always prove yourself right if you tell yourself that you're not a morning person by hitting the snooze. You will always prove yourself right. If someone puts a plate of biscuits in front of you and you tell yourself I can't stop at one, what do you think is going to happen? Of course you won't stop at one. What if you told yourself I'm just going to have one? Okay, so you go out on a night out, and if you tell yourself, oh, I'm only going to have fun if I have a couple of drinks, what's going to happen? You're going to be looking for the evidence that you're not having fun because you're sober. Not that I'm trying to create this army of sober people, by the way. It's just an example. You'll always try to prove yourself right. And you're only going to build up the self-belief, the self-confidence through evidence. And if you go back to that point I said about taking action, action over motivation, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You take the action, you feel the result, you see the result, you've experienced the result, you build up the evidence that the action creates the result, and that gives you motivation. Prove yourself wrong. So if you tell yourself I'm not a morning person, prove yourself wrong. Set your alarm tomorrow 15 minutes earlier and get up on the first alarm. If you tell yourself I can't find time for a walk, I'm not even going to say a morning walk, I can't find time for a 15-minute walk, prove yourself wrong. Look in your diary for the rest of the week and find time every day for a walk. If you keep telling yourself you can't do something, you won't be able to do it. So I bet you if you stop telling yourself that you can't and you find ways that you can, that's going to be amazing. The mindset shift that you'll see is going to be incredible. So I'm going to recap shortly, but I want to remind you of your daily tasks. Something I'm going to send out on the WhatsApp group and in the Facebook group is a little daily tracker for you. So you've got your daily, you've got your journal, which I've given you all access to. It's your little diary that helps you to log what you've done. It helps you to give yourself space for journaling every day as well. And that's really important. But what I've created you, and I'm really sorry if you're listening on the podcast, but you will have access to this. I've created you little daily trackers, right, that just like pictures on your smartphone. And actually, what you can do is you can edit these pictures and you can tick off the ones that you've done, and then you can share them in the group or share them in the WhatsApp group. And I would love it if you shared it to your Instagram stories, to your Facebook stories, to your social media, and you can tag me in and you can let other people know what you're doing, these daily habits that you're doing. And don't forget that what I said is the more you participate, the more you take part in this and you get involved, the more chance you've got of winning a prize at the end of this. So you can see on the little daily tracker that I've created you, you've got getting in your fruit and veg, you've got your steps. This little one here is your you time. The little can with the mussels is protein with every meal, and then you've got your water. And then I've created you one for every day. So I'm going to share those with you. And you can make sure that you're ticking off the boxes. So don't forget to do that. I'll also be putting polls in to help everyone to be on top of all of those things as well. I'm really sorry about the coughing. To anyone that is listening to this on podcast, I know that this is going to be really annoying, but I'm still recovering. Okay, let's recap what I've talked about today. So, motivation is a myth. Instead, I want you to take action and show up for you. Number 2 is don't be all or nothing. Aim for consistency, which means ticking as many of the boxes. So if you think about the tracker that I've created for you, there's 5 things I'm asking you to do every day, okay? And that is try and eat 5 portions of fruit and veg, try and get out for a walk, ideally 30 minutes, that would be great, but if you can't get out for 30 minutes, that's fine too. Eat protein with every meal, make some time for you, and drink water. If you can tick all of those boxes every day, brilliant. If you can only tick 4, fine. If you can only tick 3, fine. It doesn't matter. For some of you, I know some of you have said drinking water is a huge thing for me. Fruit and veg is a huge thing for me. Okay, let's make some progress on what you were doing before. So aim to tick as many of the boxes as many days as you can, not every box every day. And if by Thursday I've not ticked not ticked all of the boxes every day, I'm just going to give up on the reset. No, let's not do that. And then number 3 is don't believe your own bullshit. If you keep telling yourself you can't, then you won't. Okay, prove yourself wrong. And that links in to your daily task. Okay, I would like you to make a commitment to yourself and to the rest of the group so that we can keep you accountable. And I want you to prove yourself wrong. So as I've been talking, what has been the thing that's come up in your head that you've said, oh, that's just something I can't crack? So maybe it's, getting out for a walk every day. And I know some of you in the group find that really, really difficult, is getting your steps in, okay? Maybe because the weather's bad, or maybe because you just tell yourself you don't have enough time. Make a commitment to yourself that you are going to do this, whatever it looks like for you. I'm not going to set that, but it could be I am going to get out for a walk every day. I'm not going to tell myself it has to be 30 minutes, but I'm going to, for every day of this reset, I'm going to find time to get outside for a walk every day. Prove yourself wrong. And I want you to share it with the rest of the group. So in the Facebook group, in the WhatsApp group, I want you to share how you are, what your commitment is, and how you're going to prove yourself wrong. And by the way, this needs to be something that you find a challenge. If you smash 10,000 steps a day already, that's not your challenge, because that's already a box that you're ticking. I want you to pick the thing that is most challenging for you. And it doesn't have to be from our daily tasks either. It doesn't have to be the things that I've set you to do. Maybe there's something else that you want to add in there. So that's your task, and that's what I want you to share with everyone else. It's been a pleasure. And welcome to the day one of the reset. Any questions, reach out to me either on WhatsApp or in the Facebook group, and have an awesome day, my loves. Mwah. Bye.